Alright guys, this is the 110 watt solar panel of EcoFlow. Let's go ahead and check this one out if it's going to work for us. There you go. That's the unboxing. Open this one. Comes with a bag. This is the bag. Then, there you go. First time to open this one. So there you go. It has 4 like panels. You can fold it. So it becomes 1, 2, 3, 4 if you open it. Alright. So this is basically rated at IP68. Alright. It should withstand harsh environments. So we open this one up and try to deploy this one if... how can we deploy it? Right? There you go. So we have that negative and the positive indicators out there. I'll just go ahead and drop this one outside. There you go. Okay, let's just try the kind of scenario. Both of the panels are flat and the other one, both would be side. Because I don't know if this wire is going to be enough. There you go. Okay, I'll just plug it. All right. Okay, jump into the River 3 EcoFlow. So let's try this one to the EcoFlow. There you go. Okay, we have a solar indicator. Okay, so you can see here that the solar panel is supplying 60 watts, right? And I have also plugged this one on the outlet. And I did a quick research so that it will primarily use the solar panel in charging the EcoFlow. So you can see it here. It's also charging. But if you are looking in this River 3, it doesn't show if it's coming from the grid or the wall outlet rather than the solar panel. So I did a quick research here because by default, if you're not going to set that setting, it will be coming from the grid. So I just want to maximize the usage of that solar panel. And if you go here and go to settings, if you go to settings, you will see reserved here. So you need to turn this one on so that you will be able to use the solar panel charging the battery. So what it means is that if you turn on the backup reserve and set this one, you can slide wherever you want. The backup reserve is 70%. So when the battery is going to charge or your EcoFlow is going to charge, the capacity charge that was left on that EcoFlow is lower than 70%, then it's going to use the grid to basically charge the battery. But if it's above the 70%, you would be using solar only. And if you try to see it there, going back here so that you can see both. You can see it here. Let's go to, that's backup reserve. Let's go to home. And you can see it here that it is coming from the solar because the charge is basically 78%. So if it goes below 70%, like what I've shown you in the setting, then it would use the grid, both of them, to charge it quickly so that it will make sure that you have a sufficient battery that you can use later on. Take note here, guys, that the power that we are drawing from the solar panel is just less than 110%, probably because of the mounting of the solar panels. So you need to consider that one as well because this is only a test and we are getting at around 60 to 70 if it hits the sun is very strong. So maybe if this is going to be flattened in an angle, then probably we could go as high as 100 or 100 plus. Quick statistics. You'll see here that since I plugged in this one a while back, I've already generated 400 watts from my solar panel. You see that one's 400 watts. Okay, so that's pretty nice. I only have that 110 solar panel, but buying that one is a bit expensive. So I just want to squeeze the juice out of using that solar panel so that at daytime I'm like generating around 60 watts, supplying it to the battery, and the battery is basically supplying my router, and you see my router in my Starlink. So basically, it's like the power being drawn for the router in the Starlink is basically free at daytime. But at nighttime, of course, if this goes below 70, there's no sun that's going to power the solar. So that's the time that the AC or the grid is going to kick in and help charge the battery. All right, there you go, guys.